Hey everyone, welcome back to Cloud Sutra. Today we are diving into deployment strategies where we will cover recreate, rolling, Canary, blue-green and A/B testing deployment. And I'll explain each one with a simple real-world example along with their advantages and disadvantages. So let's get into the video. When it comes to updating a live application, developers use different deployment strategies to ensure everything runs smoothly. Now let's imagine you are introducing a new dish at a family dinner. The different ways you might serve this new dish can help us understand these deployment strategies. Now first we have recreate deployment strategy. This is like deciding to make a completely new dinner for the family. You throw out the old meal and prepare and serve the new dish all at once. In terms of deployment strategies, you shut down the older version of your application, deploy the newer version, and then start it back up. Here are the advantages and disadvantages of this approach. Advantages are, it is easy to implement and manage since you are dealing with one version at a time. And all users will get the same version at the same time, ensuring uniform experience. And disadvantages are mainly users experience downtime as the older version is stopped and the newer version is started. And for example, if the newer version has issues, all users are affected at once. Next we have the rolling deployment strategy, where imagine you serve the new dish one person at a time at the dinner table, replacing their older plate with the newer one gradually. Similarly, in the deployment strategy terminology, this means updating your application servers one at a time. Here are the advantages and disadvantages of this deployment strategy. Advantages are, users can continue to use the application as servers are updated gradually, and if there are any issues, it can be detected earlier and with a similar number of users affected. And disadvantages are, it might be complex when managing different versions of the application simultaneously, and users may have different experiences during the transition period. Now let's talk about Canary deployment strategy, where imagine serving the new dish to a few family members first and seeing how they react. If they like it, you start serving it to more people. Similarly, you deploy the newer version to a smaller subset of users initially and wait for the feedback. Here are the advantages and disadvantages of this deployment strategy. This type of deployment strategy allows for a real-world testing with a small group before full rollout, and it limits the impact of potential issues to a smaller user base. Coming to the disadvantages, it takes time to gradually increase the number of users, and it requires careful monitoring to detect and resolve issues earlier. Now the blue-green deployment strategy is another interesting one, where you set up two dining tables. One table has the old meal and the other table has the new dish. You redirect the family member to the new table, but if there are any issues, you can quickly switch them back to the older table. Similarly, in deployment strategy terminology, you have two identical environments. The blue environment runs the old version and the green environment runs the newer version. Here are the advantages and disadvantages of this deployment strategy. It is very easy to switch back to the older version if issues arise, and users experience no down during the switch. And disadvantages are, it requires double the infrastructure to maintain both environments because it contains two identical environments. And lastly, we have A/B testing deployment. This is similar to serving two different new dishes to different group of family members to see which one they like better. In deployment strategies terminology, you deploy two different versions of your application to different user segment to compare performance and feedback. Here are the advantages and disadvantages of these deployment strategies. This type of deployment strategies allows you to make decisions based on the user feedback and performance metrics, and it can test specific feature with a targeted user group. And coming to disadvantages, it requires mainly careful planning and setup to ensure accurate results. And sometimes users may get confused if they experience different versions of the application. That's it for this video. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tech explanations. Have any questions or suggestions? Drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next time.